Well, my friend here and me would like to say hello to you and welcome you to another installment of Conversational Shaving. Isn't that right, Sarge? Okay, well, I've already prepped my face with Village Barber shaving oil, and my razor is going to be this twist to open is what they once called the new Wilkinson Sword razor, and I don't know if you can see it on there, but it says Wilkinson Sword, and in there on its first use would be one of these standard Wilkinson Sword blades. I believe these are the ones that come from Germany. And let's see, my soap. Here's the package it comes in. This is a new old stock. See, razor, I think that's Leife, Luxus. This is from Germany, but I don't think it's made anymore. Got this off of Etsy. There's no appreciable scent left to it, but I've put some on my face. I don't know if you can tell, and I've lathered the brush just a little bit with the stick, because that's what it is. It's a stick, a soap stick right there. And I have some hot water in the basin here. I'm going to dip just the tips of my brush in there again and try to get a lather going on my face. So I hope you're all doing well out there this week. And let me try to get going here, see if this works. I have actually shaved with this once before. Incidentally, my brush is, it looks kind of funny now, but it's the KC Shave Company Silvertip Badger brush. I am getting a lather going here. Oops, a little bit too much water in the brush after all. Let's see. I think when I first used this soap, I might have had it dissipating a little bit, but I'm going to try to get it nice and creamy here. Okay, I'm kind of throwing lather all over the place here. Let me kind of wipe off my hand here and get started. I'll go ahead and drain the basin there. I'll wet the razor and get started for pass number 1 with the grain. Here we go. I'm trying to get this off my ear too without cutting myself. Got a little bit on my ear there. And sometimes hair grows on my ears, so I'll very gingerly try to get any of it off that might be on there. That might be a dangerous thing to do though. This is a fairly mild razor, and the Wilkinson blades work great in it. I'm not sure I've ever used a different kind of blade in this razor because the 3 Wilkinson razors I have, they're all different kinds, but they all seem to work very well with a Wilkinson blade, especially in my opinion and in my experience. They work better with these German-made Wilkinson blades rather than the Gillette Wilkinson ones made in India or China, excuse me. Okay, had to rinse the razor there. So far, straight out of the gate, and well, I'm having a very comfortable shave, but I attribute that mostly to this razor. It's a fairly heavy razor, and these were also made under the Schick label, believe it or not. I've seen what I think is exactly the same razor with the Schick label. Yes, it was with the Schick label and similar packaging, kind of a black and gray little box that these come in, I think. Excuse me again. Not a huge gap at all in this razor, so fairly mild, and because it gets a little bit gunked up, I have been taking a little bit extra long to rinse it. That's one of the reasons I cut the rinsing part out of most of my videos. It's bad enough that when I bend down for any reason, you have to see the top of this, my bald head. Perhaps when the weather warms up again, I may buzz and shave my whole head again, as I've done a couple of times in the past. I'll take electric clippers and buzz it down as far as I can get it, then I'll take a pretty gentle razor I have and shave off the rest of the stubble. And I did look better that way than I thought I would, much better actually. I didn't think the shape of my face with my chrome dome would look good completely bald, but it did, in my opinion. And I believe I got some compliments about it. It's just that in my old age, I'm so sensitive to the cold that if a stiff breeze blows, and we get a lot of wind where I'm at, a cold, nippy wind, I can actually tell the difference between having this much hair and having none at all. I will actually feel that breeze will be colder, especially on the back of my head and the sides, if I shave it all off. Good for summer, though, to shave it all off. I'll be right back for a second pass across the grain. Okay, I was just thinking about how when I peeled the foil off this stick, I peeled it from the bottom so that I could save the sticker on the top. I don't know how well you can see that, but it says Florena. That's what it is. Florena is the name of the soap brand. Hope you can see that okay. It's printed there in capital letters, but it is in cursive on the top of the box. And I believe it says something else in cursive underneath the word razor, which I guess means razor. And above the word Luxus, it says something else there. I was having trouble deciphering that, but that says Florena there. And as you saw, that says Florena there. Let me get back to work here. Let's see, I already lathered. This is a very serviceable soap, as they often are, these good old soaps that sat in their packages in a box for however many years. I have no idea how old this soap is. I have some soaps that must be 40, 50, maybe even 60 years old, and they all lather. They just don't have any scent anymore. And the only thing bad about them is sometimes straight away out of the box they have kind of a dusty scent. And I'm sure we would all smell a little dusty, among other things, if we sat in a box for 40, 50, 60 years. And if I hadn't seen Paul H. and a couple of other gentlemen use these type of soaps on their channels over the years, I don't think I would have ever dared to use them. But when I saw other gentlemen using these soaps and their faces didn't fall off or turn green, I was like, oh, there must be something to that. Okay, let me rinse again. Well, it's the beginning of March and my tulips are just now starting to pop up outside. And even though tulips can stand a dusting of snow, I hope we don't get a blizzard. Living here in the Riviera of the upper Midwest, I can tell you that blizzards are not unknown here even in March and April, and certainly not in December, January, February. That is to say, they are common, they're not unknown. That's the not, the NOT I was telling you about. Maybe not common, but not impossible. One place I lived, I saw a blizzard in the middle of April. That was awful. These tulips I planted, the bulbs were rather large overall, and they, even though they came from a U.S. seller or vendor, they came to them directly from Holland, supposedly. Several hundred or perhaps 1,000 or more years ago. I'm not really up on some of my history, but tulip bulbs were once a sign of wealth. They were used like money in Holland. I say Holland, it's really the Netherlands. But on the packaging for these tulips, or on the advertisement for them, they use the name Holland. But yeah, they used to. There were people that speculated on tulip bulbs and bought thousands upon thousands of them. Some some people got rich, and then there was some kind of downturn in the market at least one point, and people lost fortunes over tulip bulbs, of all things. Okay, I'm going to pause there, but I'll be right back for a third pass against the grain. Well, for the third pass here, I'll start on my neck this time. Flip the razor over and go over on this side now. Yes, once again, I have plans, nice plans for the garden this year. And I have some nice shaving shaving products on the way. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and rinse again. Well, one side of that razor had a lot of gunk in it that I had to rinse out there. That took a minute. Anyway, continuing on here. This is kind of a heavy razor, and it has a long handle. So if you don't like sort of heavy razors with long handles, you wouldn't like this one. And it's kind of, I got the razor all wet now, but your balancing point's going to be about there. I can't hold it that way for too long, but that might give you some idea. Maybe I'll try that again here in a minute and see if I can do that balancing point thing a little more gingerly. Well, I got a little bit of gunk in the razor right now, a little bit of soap, but let me see if I can balance it for even a second. Right about there, folks. There's your balancing point. I'm going to flip the razor over and shave against the grain on this side of the face. Trying to shave over spots until I hear no more audio feedback. Sometimes it's not good to chase BBS that way. BBS, of course, meaning baby bottom smooth. Excuse me. Okay. I did give myself a little weeper there. So weepers are not unknown with me and this razor and this blade. But it appears to be a very small one. And there might be one over here too. Very tiny. Now I'll go against the grain above my upper lip, which sometimes isn't a good idea, but I'll try to be careful about it. I'll probably get some weepers here, maybe not. I think I'm going to call that good there. I'll be back for one more, that's sort of a fourth pass that we call pickups. Well, folks, our friend here is here with me to let you know that it's pickup time. Isn't that right, Sarge? As usual, Sarge is thrilled about the shave and about pickup time. But he's a good boy, and yeah, you're getting more treats later. I gave him a little bit of a treat. After I did the teaser to the video and before I got back on camera and started shaving, I gave him some of his wet food that he really likes. Now this is starting to dry quickly. I've got to hurry up and do pickups or touch-ups. And this time I didn't put any more of the soap. I didn't put the soap stick to my face again. Maybe that was a mistake. I just used what was in the brush, and there was, it seemed, considerable soap, a considerable amount still left in the brush. Just kind of going over this quickly. I do want to do something here. I'm going to rinse the razor one more time, and I'm going to do some more touch-ups. Okay, I'll come over here and actually go back against the grain a little bit. See how this is feeling. I'm still hearing some feedback there, but I'm getting it. It's coming off. Now let's see, I'll go on over here. I'm not being unsafe, but I am doing this in a bit of a haphazard way. There's a little bit of stubble. Oh, that trouble spot isn't too bad. I have trouble spots right under my ears. I think in a moment here we're going to be looking at a BBS shave. And I might be gilding the proverbial lily a bit more than is necessary, but well, that's pretty nice. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. That's nice. I'd say that's a BBS shave. It might be more towards the lower end of the BBS, and I think it's above the DFS, the darn fine shave, and far above just presentable. It's a nice shave, nice razor, nice products, and I'm going to rinse off, and I'll be right back with Mr. Towel. Y'all know Mr. Towel, I believe. Mm. Having dried and dried and dried, I'll put Mr. Towel back where he goes, and I'll start a brief recap, and then I'll put the finishing touches on the shave here. Well, off camera, before I started, I prepped my face with some of what's left of my Village Barber shaving oil here. And as I was getting everything ready and doing some other things, I let that soak in before I ever touched the razor to my face. And, excuse me, my soap, I'll show you the soap first. Usually I show the razor again first, but it's been this, Florena. It's some new old stock soap, which I believe came from Germany. There's the box, that's the top of it and the sides. And that's the actual top of the stick, but I peeled the foil from the bottom so I could save that little sticker there that says Florena. Okay, and now I had my razor kind of soaking a bit in some barbicide there in my little Razor Bright bath thing. I need to get another one of those because I accidentally broke the top of it. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. One of these things, but I need to get another one because that's actually broke, I'm sorry to say. It still works. The razor will still stand up in there, and my razor this time was the twist to open, the new Wilkinson Sword razor. There is a little bit of overhang on that. Not too terribly much, but there is something to be aware of, and like I said, it twists to open. And in there, on its first use, has been one of these German Wilkinson Sword blades. A bit of a German shave today, I guess you could say. And my brush has been this silvertip badger brush from the old KC Shave Company. They are unfortunately no longer in business, but this is a very serviceable brush. Just like that old soap was very serviceable, is very serviceable. Now, I think I've covered everything so far, so I'm going to reach over for one of these Dickinson's Witch Hazel cleansing cloths that I just happen to have. And they're kind of like a baby wipe or a wet wipe, maybe not as large, about the size of a Kleenex. A very mild bit of sting because these cloths do have some alcohol in them. And I shaved pretty close, but nothing to make me jump out of my socks or anything like that. Go ahead and get the forehead and around the eyes. Try not to get any of the alcohol or witch hazel in my eyes. Yeah, that's very nice. Just very, very nice. And then you just throw these in the garbage can because you don't want to flush them because they're a little bit, they're thicker than a Kleenex or a bathroom tissue. And anyway, I'll make sure I got this tightly closed again, this package. And that's the Dickinson's Witch Hazel Cleansing Cloths. You can buy those in stores. And now I'm going to apply some of, this is also German, the Pitralon Polar aftershave, the blue. Let's see, I get some of this, get some of this going in my hands here. Okay, I'll put a little bit on the wrists, up behind the ears, on the temples, back of the neck. I'm feeling a lot more sting with that because there's more alcohol in that, but it smells very nice. It's a light but very pleasant. It smells about the way you would think something blue called Polar aftershave would. It's kind of cooling. There is that bit of a sting if you've shaved really closely, and that's your Pitralon German. Comes in this kind of Art Deco bottle. It's very nice. And one more thing, and then I think we're done here. The Nivea Men Protect and Care Aftershave Balm, right there, which actually comes in a clear bottle, although since this is mostly full with the balm, it looks like one of their standard white bottles. So I'm going to get a little bit here. That's probably more than enough right there. Get that going here. Oh boy, between the scent of this balm, which is light, and the fairly light scent of that Pitralon Polar aftershave, I am smelling very nice. I don't know that these scents are terribly long lasting, but for the moment, and I think I might still have some weepers at the corner of my mouth there, possibly. But anyway, I smell really nice. I'm very happy. So there it is once again, the Nivea Men Protect and Care Aftershave Balm. Okay, I'm done. That's it. Thank you for joining me, and peace out.